MisinfoCon is a creative studio about misinformation, and what we're doing is developing a community of people that are interested in solving the issue of misinformation. So it's a really unique experience in that it's brought together journalists, technologists, librarians, academics, civic technologists, activists, all convening over 2 days to discuss and explore solutions. So there's lots of exciting projects in the space. Some that I'm most interested to see move forward are around media literacy, there's one that's an empathy accelerator, there's one that is dealing with issues of diversity and trust in the media. These are important issues that we need to shine more light on.
Before we talk about misinformation, we think it's important to talk about information. And when we talk about information and journalism specifically, we realize that one of the effects of journalism is telling people what they should care about and what they should pay attention to. And then when we look across neighborhoods and communities, we notice that news coverage isn't always equitable or proportionate. It's pretty amazing how there are just news deserts across the country, neighborhoods that really don't get covered unless someone gets shot on a sidewalk. And then there are other neighborhoods where every bar that opens up brings like 20 headlines. So we've learned how to scrape different news organizations' websites and understand what neighborhoods they're covering and how effective that is, and then telling that story back to the news organizations and also to citizen groups and civic organizations so that they can put pressure on media organizations to properly cover what's going on in their neighborhoods.
So I'm interested in two major questions this weekend. One is, what sorts of systems can we build that allow for more collaborative and streamlined verification processes? And what are the metadata structures around this verification work so that, that we can build so that this can be shared more widely with other organizations? And so we can create kind of network effects around verification work being done across a variety of different sectors. In other fields and disciplines, we've seen a sea change in how people are using physical space and networking the actions of those physical spaces online. We've seen in maker spaces and design spaces, town halls and meetups. We're seeing the power of what happens when you get people together, and there's a clear demand for this. So our project is called Spark, where we're bringing the power of meetup and public conversation to journalism, something that's local, engaged, and networked. People frequently will turn to each other, turn to their physical spaces to really build trust and try to figure out what's going on. And so I think there's a growing interest in looking at vectors of attention and trust and how they might look different now in this age of information overload. And so we don't think we have the answers yet, but with the fact that we have people who are committed and interested in this issue means that we can do more rigorous research and piloting and prototyping to figure out how we might be doing things differently.
I've already committed to taking something that my group is working on right now, and we're going to build it into my company's process. We're actually going to create a meter that an audience can actually see a visual representation of the credibility in a piece of video content. So it's already starting. That's the first thing I do when I get back is start the work on making that a piece of our product.